Hi, everyone. Welcome back to God's Whispers, a place where we take a moment to reflect on the Word of the Lord and hopefully apply it to our everyday lives. Today I'm going to be speaking about two readings, one from Ezra, chapter 9, verses 5 through 9, and then the Gospel according to Luke, chapter 9, verses 1 through 6. So, after I did some research, they're connected in my mind when I picture myself standing at the bottom of a long staircase. Every step looks like work, but I know at the top there's sunlight, open space, or freedom. That's the picture for today. Ezra's confession, and then Jesus' words in Luke. Ezra was a priest and scribe in the 5th century BC, after the Babylonian exile. God's people had been carried off for 70 years because of disobedience and worshiping idols. When the Persians conquered Babylon, some of the Jews were allowed to return to Jerusalem. They rebuilt the temple, but by that time Ezra arrived, and the people already slipped back. So in Ezra 9, he's on his knees, praying and confessing. He admits the people's sins, but he also discusses hope. Though we are slaves, our God has not forsaken us. He has given us new life to raise again the house of our God. God gave them what Ezra calls a little space of grace, a chance to start over. Then, in the Gospel, according to Luke, Jesus sends his disciples out on a mission. It states, Jesus summoned the 12 and gave them power and authority over all demons and to cure diseases. And he sent them to proclaim the kingdom of God and to heal the sick. He said to them, "Take nothing for your journey, neither walking stick, nor sack, nor food, nor money. And let no one take a second tunic. Whatever house you enter, stay there and leave from there. And as for those who do not welcome you, when you leave that town, shake the dust from your feet in testimony against them." Then they set out and went from village to village, proclaiming the good news and curing diseases everywhere. He doesn't let them carry money, bread, a bag. Why? Because the mission isn't about what you can carry. It's about what God puts in your heart. The only thing they were meant to carry was grace. Both passages focus on our dependence on God. Ezra knew Israel's survival and renewal wasn't because of their strength, but it was because of God's mercy. And Jesus knew the disciples' mission wouldn't succeed because of their resources, but because of God's power. So that's where I kind of connected it with the staircase. Every one of us has something to climb. Maybe it's to climb back from some kind of discouragement or fear. Maybe it's to climb toward a mission that God has called you to. Sometimes the climbing might feel heavy and slow, but we don't need to carry all of our baggage with us. God says, drop it and take my grace instead. Letting go of what weighs us down and clinging to God, every step becomes possible. So here's the challenge. Don't cling on the things that we can carry. Cling on God's grace. That's what lifts us up. That's what makes the mission possible. Journal prompts that would go along with this passage would be, what am I trying to climb with my own strength instead of God's strength? What baggage do I need to lay down at the bottom of the steps? And how can I live more like the disciples, trusting God to provide for the mission? I hope this message encouraged you, and if you feel like a friend could use some encouragement, please feel free to pass it along. And don't forget to subscribe so you can continue to hear God's whispers.